Good evening, I'm Alan Devlin.
And I'm Christine Johnson. The United States military announcing its first casualties since the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran began yesterday. The president releasing a new video message after the killing of Iran's supreme leader. The president saying hundreds of targets have been hit and the operation could take 4 weeks or less.
President Trump will brief Congress Tuesday, and we're learning the First Lady will be in New York tomorrow to preside over a UN Security Council meeting. The focus on education's role in advancing tolerance and world peace. Lisa Rozner leads off our team coverage tonight with more. Lisa.
Well, Alan and Christine, the president saying in addition to those 3 service members that were killed in action, there could be more before this operation ends. This happened as Iran fought back and fired missiles at Israel and Gulf Arab states. A crowd gathered in Iran Sunday chanting "Death to America" in response to the killing of its supreme leader. The footage released on X by a news agency run by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. The president saying on Truth Social Sunday afternoon,
"Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen."
U.S. Central Command, which oversees the Middle East, announced the deaths of 3 American service members killed in action and said 5 are seriously wounded. Satellite video from Israel shows a sequence of explosions allegedly striking the joint headquarters of the Iranian armed forces in Tehran. Israel's prime minister saying, "Our forces will grow even stronger in the coming days." Throughout Israel, there are sirens and rockets. So far, 11 people have died, according to Israeli rescue services, including at a synagogue that was struck in Beit Shemesh.
We're not talking about just one house that was affected. We're talking about because we're in a residential community with houses that are one on top of each other.
Plumes of smoke were seen from Iranian strikes in the United Arab Emirates Sunday. The country's defense ministry says so far 3 people have been killed.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons.
President Trump told the Daily Mail today the operation will take 4 weeks or less. The president also said he planned to talk with Iranian leaders, but did not say whether those talks would be taking place soon. And of course, everyone's eager to know what's going to happen next.
And the gravity of those talks cannot be understated at a time like this. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Meantime, hundreds of Iranian Americans here in the city marched to celebrate the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Christine Sloan spoke with demonstrators.
Cheering the country they love and supporting those back home. Several hundred Iranian Americans marching to Times Square Sunday, hoping the Iranian people will finally have a chance to be free, now that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and 40 of his top officials are dead.
I was crying and dancing the whole day yesterday after 50 days of torture, that they killed so many innocent lives.
This Iranian American NYU student came to the U.S. in 2023 and remembers being hit by rubber bullets during the Iranian protest for Mahsa Amini, who died in police custody in Iran.
We would cover our faces because we were fearing for our lives. They were my friends and my classmates being taken away from just right in front of my eyes.
Why they say they're celebrating Khamenei's death and carrying the old Persian flag as well as the American and Israeli, and honoring the protesters killed.
We are honoring all the peoples that were murdered by the Ayatollah regime 50 days ago.
Shadi Hosseini was only 2 when she fled to the U.S. with her family after the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Her family still in Iran, part of the oppressed Baha'i faith.
There's not one person that I know that's outside of Iran that's Iranian that doesn't have a family member or a friend or, you know, even acquaintances that they know that have been like slaughtered.
This march, organized
organized by the Lion in Sun Group. They want exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi to go back to Iran and lead a transitional government until the Iranian people can determine their own fate.
We want our brothers and sisters back home in Iran to have the same rights and privileges we do.
Those rights, they know, come with a price. 3 American service members have been killed.
It hurts me. With all my heart, I feel bad for them. But they are our heroes.
In Times Square, Christine Sloan, CBS News, New York.
Tonight, there's increased security outside the Islamic Cultural Center on the Upper West Side. The NYPD says they're on alert and they've increased patrols at religious and cultural sites all over the city. City officials stress there is no specific credible threat to New York.
And lawmakers from our area are split over whether the president had authority to take military action without approval from Congress.
The administration has followed the War Powers Act. The president does have authority under Article 2 to conduct these limited strikes.
It is illegal, and the president is obligated under the Constitution to come to Congress and ask for an authorization of military force. He wouldn't get that authorization if he asked for it.
Some Democrats have questioned whether the U.S. faced an imminent threat from Iran and whether the strikes will make the U.S. safer. Also, flights in and out of the Middle East are either canceled or postponed because of airspace closures. This is what it looked like today at Indonesia's Bali airport. More than 1,600 passengers headed to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or Doha were stranded at the airport waiting for information. Emirates, Qatar Airways and also Etihad Airways are among the impacted airlines.
Pope Leo said he's deeply concerned about the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran. From the Vatican today, the pontiff called for an end to the violence from all parties involved. Pope Leo prayed for peace, saying it cannot be achieved with weapons, but through reasonable and genuine dialogue. And stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage of the war with Iran on air and online at cbsnewyork.com.